What's up, Wizards? It's Dev from Mtg. We like it in Magic, and today we're going to show off a little dank jank from the Jank Bank. Y'all know. Today, we're going to look at a little Mardu Kaalia right here. Try to get some angels and demons and dragons, because I like to think that we're all a little bit of all of those things, you know. I'm an angel, I'm a devil, a down south Georgia rebel, taking you back with a little Pastor Troy, which y'all know nothing about. Y'all don't know nothing about no Pastor Troy, but let's go through this deck real quick before we go into the arena and kind of go over how we're setting up Kaali here, because we're going to start with Agonizing Remorse, which is a sort of get-out-of-jail-free card in a lot of matchups that we're really bad against, like Doom Foretold. Absolutely hate like any Doom Foretold deck when we're playing this thing, so Agonizing Remorse can really help in those matchups, and it's good against control decks and whatnot, which are popping up left and right nowadays, so it's good to get counter spells and removal and stuff out of their hand, if we can in the early game. Helps set things up that way, but there's also Scorching Dragonfire, which has proven to be pretty decent, honestly, and then also Bone Crusher Giant down here, which is both a big creature and a decent removal spell. Same thing with Murderous Rider, decent creature, decent removal spell. Cry the Carnarium doesn't kill any of our creatures, so sweet. It does kill our Orzhov Enforcer and doesn't let it afterlife, but I'm really not that worried about it. I still want Orzhov Enforcer in here because it's a decent 2-drop to block in the early game, and we need a fair amount of creatures, especially early. Not only to block and all that, but also to go with Nightmare Shepherd. And I felt like Orzhov Enforcer was one of the better picks if we want a 2-drop that goes with Nightmare Shepherd well. There's all kinds of other stuff we could play, things like Charming Prince, Yark's Finlurker, or Burglar Rat, whatever, but I'm going with Enforcer here to kind of have another defensive option in the early game against the aggro decks. But again, Cry the Carnarium can help bail us out in those matchups if we want to, and we've actually got a fair amount of removal early on in the game here, but once we get Kaalia, we can start kicking it into high gear. You know, we try to get any of these angels or demons or dragons higher up on the curve. I think we have a total of 14 all in all. That's 4, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 14. Yeah, so 14 angels, demons, and dragons. And I have whiffed a couple of times playing this deck, but I've been kind of playing this deck a lot lately, so just whiffing like twice isn't a big deal. Nightmare Shepherd is the biggest addition to the deck. It's what made me want to go back to Kaali. I'm going back to Kaali. Maybe I'll know a little bit more about that. That's Notorious B.I.G. But anyway, Nightmare Shepherd is really good with Kaalia because you go Kaalia, and then on curve you go Nightmare Shepherd. Hopefully Kaalia helps you find Nightmare Shepherd if you don't already have it. And then if they kill your Kaalia while your Shepherd's out, well, you get to repeat this Enter the Battlefield trigger, and that's just... it's so nuts, everybody. So, I mean, just the combination of these two new cards, or, you know, this new card with this old card, Kaalia, made me really want to, like, revisit this deck again. But there's also a bunch of other, like, dumb stuff that we're trying. Like, I am trying one copy of Opportunistic Dragon. There are a couple of humans that I want to snag in this format, but mostly I want to grab Embercleaves and Witch's Ovens, and even though they lose all their abilities and we can't use them, our opponent also can't use them, so that's kind of nice. I mean, maybe we'll grab a Nyx Lotus against a couple of important decks here or there. I mean, there's all kinds of stuff for Opportunistic Dragon to grab, and even though we can't use it, it's still kind of a form of removal. In a way, it's kind of a 2-for-1 on a 4/3 flying body, so could be good, right? Again, curves pretty well with Kaalia, but Seraph of the Scales, really sweet. Just a decent utility creature all around, but also goes pretty well with Nightmare Shepherd because, you know, if you have a Nightmare Shepherd out, Seraph of the Scales dies, you get 2 Afterlife creatures, and you get a 1/1 Seraph of the Scales, and when it dies, you get 2 more Afterlife creatures, which is just pretty nuts. By the way, yeah, Nightmare Shepherd works in a similar way with Orzhov Enforcer. Should point that out too. But there's also Aurelian here, so we have an angel. There's really not any other angels that I want to play, so we're not going to be picking up too much angels on Kaalia, honestly. But I just didn't want to resort to like Feather or Angel of Vitality or anything like that. I guess we could play Angel of Grace, but we're really stacked on 5-drops as it is, just playing Doom Whisperer and Skargan Hellkite, which I think are probably more powerful than any of the angels that we could play in this slot for the time being. But Doom Whisperer is obviously pretty powerful, and then Skargan Hellkite is just an amazing 5-drop, especially with the haste and all. But can also be really good currently against a bunch of like X1 creatures in the format, and Mono Red's making a comeback. The Red Menace is a thing again, so this can just pick off creatures like crazy. But finish it off with 1 Erebos' Intervention, which is actually really good. Not only because the second ability can sometimes snipe really important cards out of yards, but also because this first ability can get you right back into the game, you know, kill a big thing, sometimes a god, because it can do that, and then gain like 4, 5, 6 life in the relative mid to late game, and that can just be really important, especially in a deck where you need ways to get yourself some life back. You know, we got like 12 different pain lands in the deck, shock lands, that'll deal 2 damage to us, plus Agonizing Remorse, plus Murderous Rider, God, there's something else. Yeah, Doom Whisperer can sometimes deal damage to us too, so we really need to get our life total back up, especially against the aggro decks, and Erebos' Intervention is really good with that. Aside from that, just some basic lands here. Probably could use like a Castle Vantress or some other castle in here, like the White Castle, Ardenvale. The one that Harold and Kumar go to, the White Castle. Yeah, that's basically it. So that was a pretty short description of what we're trying to do here. But I mean, it's Kaalia. It's fairly straightforward. So let's go ahead and get into it and see if we can pick up some games with Mtg Kaalia here. Let's give it a shot. Oh, actually, choose the deck. Now let's go. Let's do it, everybody. Hopefully we won't have to wait too long to get into the arena here. We got some action. We got some action against Emperor Psy. Emperor SY, perhaps. It's Emperor Psy. Alright, opponent goes first. We've got a Kaalia, and we've got some early game stuff to do. So, yeah, we're going to have to take some damage here. Hopefully we're not forced to cast this Scorching Dragonfire too early, but we'll see. Let's try Orzhov Enforcer, which I will keep. That's fun. They're going to Transcendent Envoys, so it's green, white auras. And that's such a fun deck to play against. Let me tell you. Pay 2 life. Let's kill this thing as soon as we possibly can. You kind of have to do that against green, white auras. I have a chance to kill your creature. Let me do it now. Do it. Alright, all seed. All you got this turn? Sweet. Very sweet. Alright, Godless Shriners tapped. I'm going to go ahead and Bone Crusher all seed. Don't you take out their creatures while you have the chance. I know Kaali is the whole point of the deck and we have it and can play it this turn, but nah, let's clear the way. Alright, they didn't do anything that turn, which is really, really cool. I'm actually thinking of Godless Shrining and playing this Nightmare Shepherd this turn, and then playing Kaalia next turn. I think that might be a better play, honestly. Let's pay 2. Nightmare Shepherd. And say go. I'm fairly confident in that play. Alright, they didn't do anything. They're stuck on lands, it would appear, so that's really neat. Let's get in with Shepherd here. Bop him down to 17. Play Kaali. Sup, girl? Looking like lightning from Final Fantasy 13, except you got like wings. What you got? Give us something. Please don't whiff like the very first time you got a shot. Look at that. You got 2 cards, a Skargan Hellkite and an Aurelia. And we can still play a Plains, Orzhov Enforcer. It's hot. We still need another red source to play this Skargan Hellkite, but I'm not too worried about it. It looks like we might have this one pretty well in hand. Yeah, they're going to scoop it up. Thought so. Sorry you didn't get your lands there, opponent, but at least we got to Goldfish for a while and kind of show you what this deck is supposed to do in the first place, because that's, I mean, pretty much exactly what the deck is supposed to do. But we want the game to go a little bit longer. But I feel like we don't have quite the long game that a lot of decks in this format do. We really want to close the door in the mid game if we possibly can, but it's kind of tough to pull ahead of some decks, you know. I don't want to see the Doom Foretold deck, like I said, and I really don't want to see these like Simic ramp-based decks. Blue-white control can be an issue. I mean, like some of the best decks in the format are kind of a problem, but we're decent against most of the aggro decks, you know, so long as we can get some good stuff down in the early game. Again, that's why the deck is mostly jammed with like removal and the death touch creatures in the early game. So we really have to keep up against aggro if we're going to turn the corner. Surprisingly, though, this deck has been like shockingly good for me, even despite like the number of bad matchups that it appears to have on paper. It hasn't been so bad. Our opponent is going to mulligan and play a Fabled Passage turn 1. I'm not too sure I should have kept this hand, but we did. Alright, let's Fabled Passage. We will mirror what they did and get a black source. But, you know, we can probably get to this opportunistic dragon pretty soon. We can Bone Crusher this Hateful Eidolon, which it looks like we're going to have to do. Abzan auras, everybody. Neat. Let's go ahead and pop this passage. Pop the pass. Get a swamp. Nightmare Shepherd. That's not great. Let's cancel. So if you let them untap, they might have Karametra's Blessing, but also they might try and play an Aura on Hateful Eidolon, like in All the Glitters or something, and then I can Bone Crusher and get extra value. So I think it might be worth it because, I don't know. It's tough. I'm going to stick with the idea that if you can kill the creature against these Aura's decks. Don't chance a Karametra's Blessing or something. Especially since they mulligan, so they may have fewer creatures here than they really want. Season of Growth. That's not good. Oh, and that's not good either. We really need it. I mean, at least we can play it, right? That's good. But, old Bone Crusher. Let's get a big threat on the table here. Really would be nice to pick up a Black Source next turn. We didn't, but we got a Bone Crusher, and I guess that's fine. Opponent down to 3 cards over there. Hit him down to 16. I'm going to end the turn. I was thinking about just playing Bone Crusher out there. Okay, there's a Hateful Eidolon. See if we can catch him. Trying to All That Glitters or something. That would be killer. Alright, there it is. Sweet. Let's block, stomp. And that's going to hurt. Quite a bit. We did get the draw, but we still didn't get a land here. That is really painful. But we can just Bone Crusher. And they could be in trouble. There's a Starfield Mystic. Okay. Maybe they'll get us a Tessin Champion here. And that would actually be a bit of a problem. But maybe we'll get a Black Source. We can Murderous Rite or something. Just get in. Alright, we didn't get a Black Source. We got a third Nightmare Shepherd, though. Jeezy, crazy. Alright, let's just stomp them on in. We're going to let them through. And I'm going to try and kill this Starfield Mystic. Bing bong. Autopay. Sweet. Alright. Pretty clear path from this point, I think. But, you know, famous last words. So we'll see. There's a Transcendent Envoy. A Scry. I got a blocker. Come on, Black Source. I just want to clear the way. Warbriar Blessing. Ooh, neat. I guess it won't really matter. Okay. Alright, buddy. Well, we won that one, I guess. Just use removal to stay out ahead. I'm telling you, if you have the chance to kill a creature against these decks and they don't have like untapped mana or something, just do it. Like, get it off the board. Hey, we got a Mythic, a Doom Whisperer. That's topical, right? Let's get on in. So let me take a little sip of citrus drop here. Poor man's Mountain Dew. It's so good. It's so good. I gotta quit it. I'm supposed to be drinking more water. It's one of my resolutions. I have been. But usually to record, I do a sugary drink. Last time I had water when I recorded. And everyone was like, I hate crinkle water bottle sounds. It's like, yeah, I understand that nobody likes crinkle sounds. So I'm trying to not bring water into the studio, into the office. All right, I guess we Temple of Triumph here on Toyn 1. Kaalia, yes ma'am. Totally do that. P. Diddy against Gruul here, it looks like. Say go. Say go, Genesis. Tap that Paradise Druid. I dare you to. Mine 96. Paradise Druid. Ugh. Getting queasy. Getting a little queasy here. Oh, this is Temur. 4 cards left in opponent's hand. Which, if you're counting, it's not too many. So let's Godless Shrine. Pay the 2, which is not exactly what I want to do, but I'll do it. Kaalia. Try to get out in front of whatever they're doing over there. Yeah, thinking about something. Come on, Kaali. Give me some action, Jackson. That, my friends, is action. I'll take the Seraph probably over the Aurelia. Yeah, let's do that. Cool. Drew a couple here. We actually have to discard one. What should it be? Nightmare Shepherd? Probably get rid of a Bone Crusher, honestly. They're having a think. I definitely need this other land. Yeah, man, it seems so crazy to do this. It's like either a Nightmare Shepherd or a Bone Crusher. How much do I want the removal against Temur? We'll eventually tap these Paradise Druids, right? But by then I'll be on to bigger and better things, I would hope. So let's just get rid of a Bone Crusher. Oh, the Yorgotas. I'm sorry. Sometimes you have to think about what you want to do. There's a Nissa. Man. We're back to needing another black source. Wow. Okay. Cool, cool. Forest swinging in. No blocks. Leafkin Druid. Kaalia. Really could have used another black source, but I guess we can Seraph. And Seraph is pretty good. We can also put Nissa at 1 loyalty if we wanted to, but we couldn't do like anything else this turn. And that probably wouldn't be the best decision, but we are taking some damage here. So much so that like by the time we get to Murderous Rider, we actually get our second black source. It's going to be really dangerous to, you know, deal 2 damage to ourselves. But let's pop Nissa. Get a Rugged Highlands on the other side of the table. Thassa. That's hot. That's so hot. I wonder if they're going to like Agent of Treachery next turn. Turn a Rugged Highlands into a Swinga. A Schwinga. We can go to 7 here. Is it worth it to go to 7, though? Honestly, I'm thinking of just, yeah, block. That takes out 2 of their lands. I can't really get too much more value off Nissa here. But hopefully this will help us set up. We'll get a couple more blockers. Then we can fly over. Maybe that's the idea. Yeah, fly over. Hit Nissa for 2 and then Bone Crusher to death. Maybe that's the idea. Or we can go to 11 this turn. Skargan Hellkite. Fly over and kill Nissa. Yeah. Yeah, let's do it. Skargan Hellkite. Skarg. Hasty. Let's move to attack step. Man, all of our cards have like animations. Alright. Blammo. And let's get you down to your starting life total. Let's do that. Actually, I'll leave 1 up to block. We'll put him at 21. Just so they don't want to get in with Paradise Druid. Of course, I'll probably use Paradise Druid to cast a spell this turn. Very likely. Alright, 11-21. We can turn the corner here, I think. Especially considering we've got him down to just 4 mana here. A Scampering Scorcher. Interesting. Okay. I really didn't expect that. So this is a Risen Reef deck of some kind. You gonna do it, guy? Yeah, we're coming in. Sure. Sure. Cool. See, this turn we can Murderous Rider. Yeah, that's gonna be awful. God, I hate taking all this damage. It's Murderous Rider. Scampering Scorcher. That just does not feel good, does it? And then, boy, if I want to go to a 5, I guess I could. And then Kaalia. But I think I'd rather just stomp this Paradise Druid. Get him really down to 4 mana. I think I said 4 mana earlier. It was 5. We have to not die here. I'm going to shock a token. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We can't attack. That's for sure. Although next turn we can hopefully start cleaning up these tokens. Cloud Conceer. We're going to start drawing cards. Cloud Conceer. Ugh, that's not good. It's really not good. Like an untapped land next turn. Yeah, come on in, boys. Bop. Bop. Makes me wish I'd have put the +1/+1 counter on the Hellkite, right? What you got? Wanted an untapped land. We really cannot go to 3. No, sir. Can't do it. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. Man, I really want to be able to Kaalia and Nightmare Shepherd this turn, but again, we'd have to go to 3, and we just can't afford to do it. 1, 2, 3 blockers. 1, 2, 3, and we'd go to 2, right? Or we go to 1 on attacks next turn if they attack with everything. So, yeah, I can Murderous Rider and also Kaalia. And that will make sure that we don't die. Skargan, Hellkite, and an Aurelia. That's pretty good pulls there. Tap Sacred Foundry. No attacks. Say go. Okay. Not the worst position, but also not the best. There's a Risen Reeve. They're just going to start drawing all the cards. The thing is, we're not really in a good enough position to really try and get in. And they can just get card advantage. Which is what they'll do. 1, 2, 3. They still have 3 mana open. I don't imagine they can do much on our turn, though. Okay, Murderous Rider. What happens if we try and get in this turn? We die on the crackback. Certainly. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we can Murderous Rider. Just the creature, if we want to. Or we can Bone Crusher. We can do that. We can, and then Nightmare Shepherd as well. I really like Skargan Hellkite with the +1/+1 counter. But at that point, we only have 2 mana left and can't do anything else. And I'm not sure how much I like that. But honestly, guys, I think we have to do it. Hellkite. Counter. We're going to let our opponent untap here. I don't feel good about it. Tap down Murderous Rider. Oh, and then they can tap down like Skargan and get in for 2, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9. And we can block 2 of that. Well, I guess there's no reason not to get in with Kaalia here. If they double block with Cloud Conceer, I'll be shocked. Okay. Alright, do we get another turn to play Magic cards? Nope, Agent of Treachery. Agent of Treachery. Good game. Good game, opponent. That's it. All right, that actually was a really good game. The first one that we've lost so far. So I want to get one more at least in here. This deck is carrying us through Platinum Tier 2. That's not too bad. Not too shabby at all, actually. So, excuse me for the cough there. But let's try one more. Try getting a little action. I think the deck has actually illustrated what it's trying to do, like, pretty well here. Even if it didn't necessarily do everything it needed to do that game. Although I'm sure I could have played that a different way. Like, Nightmare Shepherd should have probably come down at some point in that game. But it was just never the right time. Is this good enough? Yeah, I think it's alright. I'd really need another black source. We keep running into that. It's like I really want to be able to play this Cry if we have to, and the Murderous Rider if we have to. And almost no matter what we're playing against, it's one of those two cards is going to find targets. So, excuse me. Opponent leads on Godless Shrine. Alright, we got a wide source, so we can play the Kaalia now. Let's do that. Mountain, Sago. See if we have to kill anything with this Bone Crusher. Swamp for Daxners. A Birth of Melodus. Oh no. Oh, it might be Doom Foretold. I really don't want it to be this deck. I mean, really don't want it to be this deck. Stomp you, opponent. Because Stomp probably won't find too many targets this game. That also means this Cry the Carnarium's likely dead. But maybe it'll clean up some Doom tokens or something. It's Kaalia. Ooh, that's tough. Nightmare Shepherd. That was the only time so far that Kaali has only drawn us one card. So that's pretty good. Our opponent gets their 0-4. And says go. After playing that land. We do not get a land. Which is just balls. That is balls, everybody. Let's swing in with Kaali. California, get on, come on, pop them, chop them, Bone Crusher Giant, pop them, chop them, woo. Our opponent has this open mana, I'm just chilling. Foulmire Knight, gonna draw him a card. Don't always see Foulmire, that means we can't get through with Bone Crusher. I guess we could just stomp their Foulmire Knight. Maybe they'll Doom Foretold this turn. That would just be wonderful. They're having to think about it. Having a little think to themselves. You can always like mortify one creature and lay down Foulmire Knight. They are going to Foulmire, which means that we're not too worried about Doom Foretold. We're not, apparently. That's good. That's good. I'm just thinking about how I want to sequence here. I could just play a Seraph of the Scales or a Nightmare Shepherd this turn. I could just do that, honestly. I'd really like to. I'd really like to do that. Let's Nightmare Shepherd. Sorry for the think opponent. I apologize. Mortify the Nightmare Shepherd. That's how you got to do it, right? That is how you got to do it. Put him at 13 on the Kaalia swing. You're going to Murderous Rider the Kaali. They see our tricks. I'm not going to let you get another Nightmare Shepherd next turn. I know what you're doing. At this point, not a bad game. Okay, Knight of the Ebon Legion. So this turn we can just go on a removal fest if we want to. Or we could Seraph for the Scales. Which is like really tempting, but I'm just going to stomp the Knight. Dragonfire the Foulmire. Probably could have done the other way around there, but I'm not sure how much it's going to matter. I guess we'll see, won't we? Alright, swing him with Bone Crusher, the block with the 0-4. And now we've got Daxners on the ropes. Maybe. Who knows what Daxner's got in their hand? A Karn. Now things get interesting. Okay. They're going to go grab an artifact. What's it going to be? What kind of broken garbage are you getting? A glass casket and just play it. Okay, that's not... That's fair. That's entirely fair. Okay, we get a mountain. Let's just drop it. 5 mana this turn. We can't quite Murderous Rider or Orzhov Enforcer, but we can Bone Crusher or Orzhov Enforcer. Or just Seraph. I could just do that too. Kind of want to fill the board. Yeah. Bone Crusher. Enforcer. I'd almost always rather cast 2 spells than 1. If they have some kind of 1-for-1 removal, we can still swing in. Alright, they'll just play Murderous Rider out of exile. Got something else? Acclaimed Contender, okay. So it is Knights. I was wondering if this was Orzhov Knights. But it's a weird Orzhov Knights. It plays like Karn. Okay. Smitten Swordmaster. They're going to go get another artifact. Circle of Loyalty. I was wondering if they were playing that card in their sideboard. Alright, so... Wow, we can just go on another little short removal fest here. Let's Scorching Dragonfire. The Murderous Rider. That's the play. Murderous Rider. The Acclaimed Contender. We'll go to 14. Use the Orzhov Enforcer to kill the Karn, swinging on them with the Bone Crusher. Put them at 7, and things are looking up. Although I'm not liking that they have a Circle of Loyalty. But Seraph of the Scales should be able to clean this game up for us. We don't know what these other 2 cards in their hand are, but... You know, I'm not too worried about Smitten Swordmaster. Might present a speed bump. That's a speed bump. Wonder if we should Cry the Carnarium. Yeah, we probably should. I hate that we can't do anything else. But alas, let's do it. Get in for 2. Play the land. Say go. Alright, they're at 5. I really wish they're at 4. They're at 5. Circle of Loyalty comes down. What else can you do? Alright, Worthy Knight. Oh. Alright, we can double spell this turn, so let's try and get in. We can't, but that's fine. I'll make that trade for now. Little Seraph. Pay 2 life. Murderous Rider. And I really hope this Seraph can seal the deal for us. Alright. They got 5 mana left even after they create a token, but they do nothing else. Meant to give it Vig. Put him at 1. And hold this land in our hand. For psychological reasons. And a temple. Even if they kill our Seraph, like, they have to exile it. Create a Knight. Might as well block, I think. Our turn. Alright, they do have a single card left in their hand. Let's give it Vigilance. And that's it. Okay, I wasn't quite sure. That's why I didn't good game them, because who knows? Right, so That's another one. We've won a fair amount of games with this deck, actually, but we never actually got to see, like, Nightmare Shepherd really do its thing, and that's kind of sad, so... Man, I thought that was going to be enough to buy a pack. Oh, well. Oh, well. Well, that, so far, at least, was Kaalia. I might actually get back on with this deck at some point this season. There's a couple of decks that I want to play again here on the channel. I'm going to take a sip before we finish things up. Just to kind of go back over everything. We never got to see Agonizing Remorse do anything. Did we see Agonizing Remorse even once in any of these games? I think we saw every single other card in our deck, even Opportunistic Dragon. We didn't see Erebos' Intervention. We never saw that card either. But it does come in handy occasionally when you do draw it. Or no, we saw it. We killed a Starfield Mystic with it. That's right. So yeah, even that worked. I mean, if you didn't notice, the deck is, like, again, like I said at the beginning of the video, like, shockingly good. Like, surprisingly not a bad thing in the arena, at least. And I'm on Platinum tier, too. I mean, it's not like that's... I mean, it's kind of a scrub tier, right, to some of you in Mythic, I'm sure. But at the same time, there's a lot of meta decks on that tier. So we were able to beat a lot of stuff. And we even had a decent chance against that Temur Elementals deck. They just got out ahead of us. And that Thassa really ruined our day. Although I think maybe there could have been better play in that game. But let me know. I'm sure you will. I don't think I made anywhere near as many misplays as I did playing Esper Reanimator the other day. I was screaming at myself. There were a bunch of people in the comment section like, you gotta do, but there's an Agent of Treachery. It's like, I didn't see it while I was playing the game, but I went and rewatched the games after I uploaded the video, and I was screaming at myself that there was an Agent of Treachery in the yard, or you can play the Blood for Bones and sacrifice the Agent of Treachery and then put it back in your hand and play it again. I missed some plays in that video, but I think we did a lot better in this one. And the deck was a lot more cooperative. We got to see the deck curve out the way that it wanted to, and Kaalia did a lot of work too, drawing a lot of cards for us in these games. So I hope you enjoyed it, and if you like it, I'll leave a link in the description so you can pick the deck up on TCG Player as usual. If you want to pick up any pieces, there's a link for you. There's also a link to the Patreon. If you want to support the content, keep seeing more crazy decks like this and all that, then just go over there, throw $1 in the pot, and help out the channel. Like the video, subscribe if you haven't done it yet, do all that YouTube stuff, and let me know how you felt about it as well, how you change or alter the deck down there to make it a little bit better, or for budget purposes. You know, there's a lot of different stuff you can do, especially in the lower parts of the curve here. There's a lot of stuff you can do. You can even play bigger dragons and stuff. Like you can play... Shivan Dragon or something, or Drakaseth if you wanted to. There's all kinds of stuff you could do with this deck, so let me know what you do down there in the comments section, and I will catch you cats later. I'm Deb from The Place. Thanks for watching, my wizards. As always, spread love and be kind.